7 degrees. There you go. Landry, you're on. You're live. Your mic's hot. Go.
Did you tell us the time and the temperature?
Yeah, I did it all.
And the time?
All of it.
And did you tell
twice?
Did you mention who is now looking at hiring a new quarterbacks coach?
No.
See, I like football news as much as anybody.
Football news.
If it's relevant.
Right.
But what I've noticed lately, Nathan, is remember the old days, the stories were, hey, the University of whoever is looking at this 3.5-star place kicker out of Denton Guyer High School. And now it's who's leaving, what school, where's he going?
Mm-hmm.
The school, who are you looking at hiring in the transfer portal? What coach is leaving? Okay, if a head coach leaves, that's news. But if a school is looking at hiring or has just hired a new running backs coach, is that really newsworthy?
It's something. Landry, we crave our sports news, especially football.
Receivers coach, really? You're gonna write a story about who Nebraska is hiring as the quarterbacks coach or the running backs coach?
But people will read it. That's the problem. People will read it.
I'm just like, whatever. Sure watched a good football game Friday night, and by good football game, I mean entertaining. And by entertaining, I mean I watched one really good team play really well.
It's time to make your Done Monday sweet. Head to SK Donuts in Oak City, your local donut spot with the freshest, fluffiest donuts in town. From classic glaze to cream and jelly filled, there's a treat for everyone. And kolaches are both affordable and delicious. SK Donuts, 1926 West 3rd in Elk City. Landry fresh, local, delicious. Open 7 days a week, 5A to 1P. 580-243-9626. Don't dread Mondays. Do not worry. Be happy at SK Donuts. It's love at first bite.
Donuts played a big, and I think, frankly, a key role in the Galen Culver story he did about our 20th anniversary on Is This a Great State or What on KFOR News Channel 4 in Oklahoma City.
Did?
Well, yeah, the word donuts showed up. Either in the story or the teaser he did. I can't remember which.
Oh, I don't remember.
But, yeah, the word donuts. You saying the word donuts.
Donuts!
Yeah, just
like that?
Just like
wow.
Wow, it's like I was watching the segment. That was eerie.
Wait, are you ready?
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Donuts!
Nailed it. You absolutely.
For 20 years,
nailed
they've
it.
said things like this. Donuts! That was the story. And they're twins. Now back to you.
The Channel 4 put the story on the Channel 4 YouTube page, and I happened upon it, and there were two comments, and I don't remember what one of them was, but the other was something just ripping the content. And I don't know if they were making fun of our show, or criticizing our show, or just criticizing Channel 4. But I thought that was funny. Just ripping the content.
Farmers use a lot of oil every season. Oil field companies use a lot of oil, period. Camrock's oil, same specifications, and lubricates the same as designer brands. Just cost a lot less. Who likes to save money? Camrock Supply is on South Main in Elk City next to Fred's Steakhouse. The website, camrocksupply.com. 96.5 KECO is the early morning show. A texter is saying 21 degrees, a mile and a half northeast of Hammond. Mercy. How can there be that big a difference? 37 here. 21, a mile and a half northeast of Hammond. 225-9697 is the text line. Your weather at the bottom. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning scheduled to join us. Jared Atha has local news coming up at approximately 7:50. Landry, does your semester begin today?
In fact, it does. How did you know? You're on top of things.
Because you told me the other day.
Yes.
That's how.
College begins today for SWAZU. I've noticed something, Nathan. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm around 50. With people who are about our age or older, I say Southwestern. But with younger people, I say SWAZU.
That's a great line there.
If I said Southwestern to my kids, I'm not sure they would know what I was talking about. Conversely, if I say SWAZU to people older than us, I'm not sure they know what I'm talking about. But yes, college begins today in Sayre and Weatherford, and I suppose in Yukon for Southwestern Oklahoma State University. This is day one, Nathan. Week 0, day 1.
Hey, did you watch any movies over the weekend? Anything interesting?
I watched the show you'd recommended. What was it? It was with people.
It was Candy Cane Lane.
It was the
With-
girl was the lawyer.
Oh,
it was Vicky
Unleashed.
Vicky Lachey or Vanessa Lachey.
Vanessa Lachey.
She's the older sister, I think, of the boy bander and his brother.
Oh. Unleashed for Christmas or Christmas Unleashed.
And
or
the
something?
guy, the handsome guy,
Yeah.
who was the veterinarian.
Because he was the veteran, yeah.
That's how I watched that.
It took me a while to figure out. I'm a little embarrassed to admit this. And maybe it was partly because I was watching while I was ironing, and it took me a while to figure out what the dog was doing.
You know what he was doing?
Yes.
Getting them back together.
Well,
so,
yeah.
So you know.
Yeah.
The woman who played the lawyer's grandmother, Vanessa Lachey's grandmother, that is at least the third Christmas movie I've seen.
Yes.
Her. And I had to chuckle to myself because it was one of these entirely or nearly entirely Canadian casts.
Yeah.
And they're all saying a boot. But the movie is set in North Carolina. And not a one of them
Wait
said
a minute.
North Carolina.
It doesn't get that cold in North Carolina.
I know.
It was snowy and wintry. And
the Canadians were in North Carolina.
The boot, yeah. They should set all those movies either in Montana or Vermont.
Did you saw the guy who played the cranky Santa? He was in maybe 2 scenes.
Oh, it's
maybe
been so
3.
long. I saw that the day after Thanksgiving.
He was in the Christmas Train movie with Dermot Mulroney and Danny Glover.
Which one? Who was he?
Christmas Train.
Yeah, but who was he in the
played
movie?
The engineer, maybe. I think he drove it.
Or the former?
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, you see, when you watch these Christmas movies, you see the same players over and over because and they're all Canadian.
These movies must all be shot.
Once in a while, you'll get an American. But about 90% of the cast are Canadians. And their movies are shot in Canada. And you know what? They're delightful.
Did you know that Vanessa Lachey was in an episode of Psych?
No.
Remember the hot rod, the car racing?
Oh, that was her.
That was her.
Oh, yeah. She was sort of I remember that. That was her, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. That's great. 96.5 KECO is the early morning show.
Really funny episode of Psych last night. And I didn't remember most of it except the very end when the guy from Barney Miller shot Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Barney Miller.
Sure.
But in that episode, Gus just keeps eating all the candy he can get his hands on. It was super funny.
That was great.
Really
that's funny stuff.
Yeah.
Looking at the latest penny news, Southwest Overhead Garage Doors there on page 1. So's Aeroquip Cattle Equipment, and so's Maccabee Fox Roofing, and so's L&R Tire, and so's Yes Finance, and 4C Livestock Equipment. Why, I'm starting to think, Landry, that there are agricultural people in our area. I'm just starting to think that if you need a vehicle, we've got them in the penny news. If you need services, Landry, services. Electrical, plumbing, that sort of thing. Water wells, Doug. We've got that in the penny news. We've probably got people named Doug in the penny news. Man, look at all this cattle stuff and feeding stuff and auctions. Anybody like auctions? Who likes to go to auctions? Who needs a trailer? Look at page 10. Look at all those GR trailers. Look at those cattle trailers on page 10. 2D trailer sales and service. Tree trimmers, roofers, mercy. Penny news, it's out.
Nathan, I am looking at the Galen Culver story he did about us a week ago Friday, about our 20th anniversary. I'm looking at it on YouTube. And, where would we be without viewer and reader comments?
Oh, I know.
I'm looking at the 2 comments on this story on the Channel 4 YouTube page. Mm-hmm. The first one is, greatest news channel ever. The second comment is this, only 100 views. Thank goodness. This lame content gets less views than my neighbor's cat videos. LOL.
There's so much to say about that, about what that person said. Why do people feel compelled to do that? First of all, they're just being mean. They're snarky and mean, but they want to write that so other people see it. People need so badly to let other people know what's on their mind. And it's almost never happy or thoughtful or really meaningful. It's just, I don't like this, and let me tell you that. And he doesn't say what's bad about the content, just
lame.
that. Right, but explain that. How is it lame?
Exactly.
Why is it lame?
Well, I was just
I know, but
he was using that.
I know, but
Sure.
And I'm telling you and our other two listeners that saying something is lame is not a thoughtful critique. It doesn't explain what's lame about it. It's just, but I bet those Channel 4 people are used to that.
I would imagine.
Because anytime you put something on social media and allow comments, you know what you get?
Cranks.
A lot of people who just don't like it and want to tell you they don't like it.
But you know what? That's the world we live in.
To quote Cale Gundy, that is exactly that's the world we live in.
And you know what? I have learned to try. I've learned to try to take the world as it is and people as they are.
Have you learned to trust yourself yet?
I've learned to love.
Landry, have you learned to trust your gut?
You know what I was just about to say? I say this all the time to people, mostly my kids. And sometimes they listen, I think.
They're people.
You know, they
Kids
say, Dad, I've got this thing, that thing, the other, what is that? What do I, should I, and they're saying, you know, I'm thinking about doing this, I'm thinking about doing that. And I say, you know what? Go with your gut. What does your gut tell you to do? Has nothing to do with gut health.
No.
But.
Or Dr. Stephen Gundry.
I say, go with your gut. You know, 7 times out of 14, it works.
60% of the time, it works every time.
It will either work or it won't. I'm a proponent of two things. Number one, if what you're doing isn't working, try something else.
Yep.
And number two, go with your gut.
Paragon TV has high school basketball coverage this week. Girls tip first, followed by boys. Tomorrow, Canute at Cheyenne Raiden, 6:30 p.m., Sentinel at Eric, 6:30, Visay at Leedy, 6:30, Sayer at Merritt, 6:30.
Speaking of Merritt, some big congratulations are in order. It looks like Merritt Schools has already named its teachers and support staff of the year. So, congratulations. Nathan, can you give me a drum roll?
So have Elk City.
Yes, I know. But I saw this first.
I don't have a drum roll.
Congratulatory congratulations.
I have a rim shot.
Wait a minute. What about this? Hold on. What about this?
Oh, wait, wrong. That's Mike. Hold on. Wrong one. Here we go. Okay, yeah.
How about this? Nothing screams congratulations like this. Merritt Public School Teachers and Support Staff of the Year. High School Teacher of the Year, Amanda Carr. Middle School Teacher of the Year, Michelle Mooney. Elementary Teacher of the Year at Merritt Public Schools, Kristen Walter. Support Staffers of the Year, Merritt Schools, Tiffany Dudley, Ashley Ross. Congratulations to those 5 outstanding individuals from Merritt Schools, Teachers and Support Staff of the Year. And Nathan, you're right. Elk City Public Schools has also named its their our we they us them Teachers and Support Staff of the Year.
Shotgun. Remember that?
If you will give me Elk City.
Hey, while you're thinking about that, Landry, Big Oak
Schools.
Big Oak TV returns tomorrow. Weatherford at Elk City. The Oakettes play at 6:30, followed by the boys. Watch the games at BigOakTV.com. That's BigOakTV.com. Weatherford at Elk City tomorrow.
Here we go. More big congratulations.
Big time.
Big, huge.
Man, that is big time.
Congratulations to the Elk City Public Schools Teachers and Support Staff of the Year in this order. The order in which they're listed on Facebook. Here they are. Early Childhood, Yadida Ayala. Elementary Teacher of the Year, Kimberly Tu. Intermediate Teacher of the Year for Elk City Public Schools, Shanna Bruner. Middle School Teacher of the Year, Casey Shire. High School Teacher of the Year, Bridget Shelton. And the Support Staffers of the Year for Elk City Public Schools, Penny Shockey. Accounts Payable, Gloria Villarreal. Custodian, Amy Andrews, Cafeteria Manager. Congratulations to the Elk City Public Schools Teachers and Support Staff of the Year.
You have an uncle who's rooting for you to have a massive retirement. It's your Uncle Sam. Want to keep Uncle Sam out of your retirement? Advanced Financial Strategies in Clinton, block and a half south of Homeland. The website, retirewithbacca.com.
Keep chugging that coffee. The Brewer Boys will be back with the early morning show in a couple of minutes.
Briley Bacca is an investment advisor representative of and advisory services offered through Royal Fund Management, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Every dollar you save for retirement has a silent partner, and it's your crazy Uncle Sam. He's waiting with his hand out, ready to take a chunk of your IRA, your 401k, and even your Social Security if you're not careful. But here's the truth. You can fight back. With the right strategy, you can keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket and out of Washington's. At Advanced Financial Strategies, we specialize in family wealth management, helping families in western Oklahoma cut down on future tax bills, maximize income, and keep control of their financial future. Don't wait for the IRS to decide how much of your retirement you get to keep. Call me, Briley Bacca, a certified financial planner professional here in Clinton, at 323-6800 or visit our website, retirewithbacca.com. Advanced Financial Strategies, your money, your future, your choice.
It's time to make your Monday sweet. Head to SK Donuts, your local donut spot with the freshest, fluffiest donuts in town. From classic glazed to cream and jelly filled, there's a treat for everyone. And their kolaches are both affordable and delicious. SK Donuts on West 3rd Street in Elk City. Fresh, local, delicious. Don't dread Mondays? Don't not worry. Be happy at SK Donuts. Open 7 days a week, 5 a.m. to 1 p.m.
You got 5-6 tractors out there. You got a dozer, a traco, a grader, something like that. I mean, you go through a lot of oil in a season. I mean, you'll use a few hundred gallons in a season. So here at Camrock, we have the same specification oil as the other brand, where people think that they have to use that for a certain color on their tractors and stuff like that. But we have the same oil specifications as they do. Works just as well, does the same thing, lubes it just the same. Price comparison is, it's not even a comparison. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil. They can come in and talk to us, see what they want, or give us a call, and we can come out and see what they have, fill their tanks, set them tanks. That's what we've done here in the past. We've converted a lot of farmers over to our brand, our house brand of motor diesel oil. The price savings it's huge for them. We sell it to oil field companies also. They use it in frac pumps. And they're not happy, you know it, and it's working great for them. Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Elk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse. The price savings it's huge for them.
We did the Veterans Monument in Oklahoma City. At the time we did it, they didn't want any names on it. They were just doing the different wars in bronze panels on granite. 20 years later, they decided they want all the veterans' names on the back of the monument. Well, there's no way to engrave it, so they wanted to put bronze names on there. We said, you can't, that won't work well. They ended up finding someone that would put the bronze names on there, and then they started kind of popping off and everything. So then they called us to go in and see how we could clad it and get the names on it after the fact. So there's just things that come up in the granite industry where you have to investigate and figure out how to fix it or create it. Some things you just won't do, but there's projects that are nice out there that not everybody will have a hand in, will want to have a hand. Willis Granite Products. Our website is willisgranite.com.
Twenty-three minutes after 7 o'clock, 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. 38 degrees, sun coming up, revealing skies above us. How and why do I keep losing Google Chrome? Anyway, that's what we need to know. Do I want to restore? Of course I do.
Maybe there's a problem. Have you considered the possibility that there's a problem?
They would like to say thank you. The reason they want to thank everybody is they know there are lots of places to buy cars, lots of places to have vehicle service, but Barbara Dyson Ford is really humbled by all the trust you put in them last year. And if you need them in 26, right? They had a terrific 25. If you need them in 2026, they'll still be in the northeast part of Elk City. They're online at barbadysonford.net.
Nathan, did you hear about the stained glass dog lamps?
No.
In Elk City?
No.
Well, I'm reading the Oklahoman, and there's an ad that says the stained glass dog lamps is being snapped up in Elk City.
Wow, they is?
The dog lamps is being snapped up in Elk City. I had no idea. Well, OU place kicker Tate Sandell announced he's coming back for one last ride in Norman, Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner. I know the Sooner Nation was relieved when they found out that news. Boy, Nathan, Friday night's football game between Indiana and Oregon, it was a blowout, and yet it was still entertaining. And it was entertaining because the University of Indiana University Hoosiers are absolutely outstanding.
I know. It seemed like they were playing fast.
Surgical.
Fast as you.
Precision. They look so good. Oregon looks so bad. I know Oregon's not a bad team.
No, they're actually quite good.
But this was the second time that the teams had played this season. This was the second time Indiana won. And, boy, the farther into the season we go, and they tell me we're nearing the end of it, but the farther into the further into the season we go, the better Indiana looks.
I know.
They're outstanding.
They just good. And I read a story last night, and I shared it with Landry. I talked about the Indiana Hoosiers, the billionaire-backed Indiana Hoosiers. I thought, I got to read this and see who's the money man. Mark Cuban, the Dallas Mavericks owner, the Shark Tank guy. Mark Cuban graduated from Indiana. I don't think I knew that.
I don't think I did either.
And he's a billionaire, so of course he's chucking them some money to help with their athletics.
Do you know how he made his money, how he got rich?
I don't remember. If I did used to know, I've forgotten it. He's one of those guys that just gets into something, does well, sells the company, moves on to the next thing. He's not just, it's not like he invented styrofoam or anything. It's not that.
Have you ever wondered what motivates these people who are rich?
To keep being, it's obviously the challenge. Just enjoy the challenge of managing a company. It must not just be for the money. If it was just the money, they've already got plenty of money, so it's something else.
But Mark Cuban is the guy he and John Mellencamp are bankrolling the Indiana Hoosiers.
Cougar?
There was a story. Was it 60 Minutes or just a CBS piece? Now I can't remember.
It was 60 Minutes.
60 Minutes piece about the Indiana football team. Kurt Signetti and the big turnaround. And it featured everybody's 19th favorite 80s rocker, John Mellencamp.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't
giving some of the weakest information I've ever seen. You expect a star to have something to say. You expect, they're bringing him into the story. You know what I think? I know a little bit about this kind of thing. Here's what I think. John Mellencamp is a big-time University of Indiana football fan and has been since they were rotten. Would go to the games with his dad when John was a little boy. Well, 60 Minutes wanted to do the story about Signetti and Indiana's turnaround, and they probably find out, okay, John Mellencamp is the big fan. Okay, well, let's go.
And a donor.
And a donor. So let's interview him. And he agrees. And then you get in, and I am 97% sure here's what happened. They shot however much footage, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and got very little that was usable because he just has nothing to say. And they used very little footage of John Mellencamp in this 8-minute, 60 Minutes piece.
We know that he gets to smoke at the stadium during the games.
Yeah, leaves the window open.
For the money he donated. But Mark Cuban, so you're telling me Mark Cuban may be more important than John Mellencamp?
Well,
financially?
I have a feeling he gave more.
To the University of Indiana.
Okay, but look. Okay, so Mark Cuban's a billionaire and he's given money to his university. Great. You know what? Oregon has Phil Knight, the Nike guy.
They made the playoff.
Who's been pumping them money. Okay, so how is it that I still ask the question? Yes, they've got money. Great. Everybody's got money. Oregon's got money. You telling me Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State don't have money?
I wonder, though, how recently Mark Cuban started donating. Has he been doing this for 20 years, or what did it start happening 5 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 2 years ago? This influx of money.
So, if everybody's getting money now, and there's either a big-time donor or a passel of lesser big-time donors with every school, if they've all got access to money. Okay, but Indiana was terrible. They were not a football school. They were terrible. And yet, here comes Kurt Signetti, and in this first season, they won 11 games. His first season. This year, they're 13-0, and they're going to be 14-0. How did he do it? It's not just the money. Other schools have money. Is Kurt Signetti that good at fill in the blank? Evaluating talent? Can he see who the good players are going to be? Is he that good at coaching kids and actually coaching them and teaching them football and getting them to do the things he wants them to do? Is it his staff? Is he that good at hiring assistants?
Throw in player development, and all of the above may be correct. Because he's won wherever he's been.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he famously, and I love this, by the way, was it when he was hired early on in his tenure? He was giving, it was at a press conference, and people are.
Right after he was hired at Indiana.
Right after he was hired at Indiana, and he said, yeah, well, why do you, I don't know what specific question he was asked. Maybe it was, why did Indiana hire you? Why do you expect to be successful? And Curt Cignetti said, well, I've always won.
He said, I win.
I win. Google it.
Google me.
Google me. And he has, which tells me he knows what he's doing. Is it a matter of getting the right players? Is it developing the right players? Is it coaching those players you've gotten and have developed? Is it all of the above?
I am astounded at what he's been able to do.
I know that, what was it? Was it the offensive coordinator that kept showing us, the guy on the sideline with the issued by the Hoosiers shirt?
Yeah.
What, hadn't he been with him at James Madison? Was he the guy?
I don't remember.
I was only half listening. Was he the assistant coach they were telling the story about, because it was a blowout and you have to fill?
Right.
They were talking about an assistant who had been with Cignetti, I think at James Madison, and maybe a school before that, where he was making, was it $6,000 a year?
And they
he
asked
was
him,
asked, how could you live on that? And he said, food stamps. Can you imagine a college football coach, an assistant coach, having to live on food stamps for making $6,000 a year?
Landry, if Cignetti can do it, you and I can do it. Doggone it. If he can turn a program around like
I tell you
this
what,
just astounds me what he's been able to do.
throw in some government cheese. I'm right there with you.
Now, I will say this. It seems unlikely he would be able to do this without the modern developments of transfer portal and NIL, because like the quarterback came from University of California.
Well, Cignetti has not just embraced the transfer portal, but he seems to be utilizing it more so than high school recruits. He's using the high school recruits to supplement. And you've probably seen the stories that Indiana doesn't have any 5-star players on it. I don't even know if they have any 4-star.
But they look fabulous.
Because they've been coached and developed, and Cignetti is from the Saban school of, lower extremity flexibility.
What does that mean?
It means your ankles need to be flexible and you can go sideways and not get injured a lot. Really.
Lower extremity flexibility.
Below the knee flexibility. Saban emphasized it, and apparently Cignetti does too.
The process.
Right? But Mendoza, how do you account for this guy? The Heisman winner. I'd never
From
heard of him.
Cal.
I had never heard of him until he won the Heisman.
Was he the one? I keep hearing things, and I can't remember who I heard it about. Is he the one who had no offers?
I think so. Or was it Trinidad Chambliss? Or is it both of them?
Maybe it was Chambliss. Anyway, there's something
The
flawed.
oldest quarterback.
There is something flawed in the rating system of high school recruits.
I don't know whether I have a hard time getting excited anymore when I hear about a 4-star recruit, a 5-star recruit.
Well,
I know in Norman they haven't always had good success
No.
with 5-star recruits or even 4-star recruits. But I don't know. The Cignetti model is just take guys who have proved themselves somewhere on the college football field, I guess, transfer them in, coach them, get them to do the little things correctly.
but they look so good.
They look absolutely. I know it's not like there was any one. Mendoza looked good, and that Surratt,
Yeah,
the receiver, wow, he
number
was good.
13 is awfully. But those and the running.
Well, but you think about it. You start with the quarterback. He went 17 of 20, so he only threw 3 incomplete balls, and I don't know if it was his fault or the receivers or what. The penalties until late in the game, until late in the second half, I don't think Indiana had a single penty.
Yeah, that's one of those things that really, and I don't think they turned the ball over either, did they?
No.
First play from scrimmage. Okay, Indiana kicks off to Miami.
Oregon, right?
Oregon.
Mhm.
Miami kicks off to Oregon. Touchback to get it on the 25. First play from scrimmage. It's a little out route to the left side of the field. The corner saw what was coming, jumped the route, intercepts the ball, and takes it to the end zone. A pick 6 for Indiana on the first play from scrimmage.
I suspect that the Indiana football team is exceptionally well prepared for every game.
It's like he knew what was coming. I'm stunned at Indiana. I really am.
The running game, I mean, I didn't see any one runner who I thought was just amazing, but they pick up yards every time.
And you're right. They did. It's every 4, 5, 6 yards every time. And when they played defense, the guys were in the right place. And when they tackled, they took you to the ground.
They're just sound.
They just do everything well.
Fundamentally sound. They move well. They do the right, and they don't make mistakes.
I mean, there were no. Yeah, I know Mendoza won the Heisman, but it's not like, look, we weren't seeing Joe Namath or Joe Montana or John Elway out on the field.
He throws a pretty ball.
He does throw a pretty ball.
A tight spiral.
And it's not like any of those running backs were Tony Dorsett or Walter Payton or Barry Sanders. They weren't. It's just everybody does their job. Everybody on that field does their job. And it's a beautiful thing to see a team that is coached that well and that plays that well.
I don't know that Indiana punted. Did Indiana punt?
That's a good question. I don't know.
That's just how successful Indiana was.
96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Nathan Landry and you, 37 degrees. Coming up, your weather. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning. Jared with news.
Thank you just doesn't seem to be enough. There are lots of places to buy cars and lots of places to have them serviced. We are really humbled by the trust you placed in us at Barbara Dyson Ford last year. We don't take it for granted. You're the reason we had a terrific 2025. It was all because of you, and thank you for that. If you need us in 2026, we'll still be in the northeast part of Elk City and online at barbadysonford.net. We'd be honored to serve you this year.
They're expecting me to get whatever task done. To a farmer, a tractor, combine, gets them up and running. He's back in the field, makes some money. Guy in the oil field, their piece of equipment's running again. That makes some money. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oil field or agriculture. So if your farmer need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. You're a oil field customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. If we're competitive on price, we say we'll bring it to you, we'll do whatever it takes to get it to you, make life easier on you, or you can call us to solve a problem. Hey, can you get this? Why wouldn't you? American Hose and Supply, 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123. 303-1123.
Why wouldn't you?
This is Country Gold with Steve Harmon, your home for the country hits of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Hey, it's me, Steve Harmon from Country Gold. If you'd like to be a part of the show, call 855-958-3774. Request whatever song you want. Share a little good news, or even send a shout-out to a friend. 855-958-3774. Come on and be a part of Country Gold.
Country Gold with Steve Harmon every Sunday night at 7 on 96.5 KECO.
My dad and I don't change our minds easily, but we really wanted better grades on our cotton. So a couple of years ago, we met with Keith and the team at Carson County Gin. I'm cotton farmer Spencer Smith, and my dad is Jimmy Smith. We liked what we heard and saw in that meeting. We liked it a lot. Keith Mixon said he wanted to earn our business, so we gave him a chance, and it paid off. The communication was great through the whole process. They contacted me on a regular basis. When I called them, someone always answered the phone. The cotton came out looking great. Their attention to detail got us a higher grade and a higher price. Turnaround time was excellent, but they made sure to do the job right to get us better, cleaner cotton. And then they helped us sell it for more money. Carson County Gin is located near White Deer, Texas, west of Pampa. You'll find them online if you Google them. Dad and I trust the team at Carson County Gin with our livelihood. They're the kind of people we want to do business with.
7:39. It is finally Monday, 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Nathan Landry and you. Forecast this hour comes compliments of Carter Electric, authorized Generac generator dealer, Carter Electric, Curvin and Mary Orgain, 217 West 12th. West 12th. That's hard to say. In Elk City. The number to call, 225-2447, 47. Your forecast this hour calls for sunshine and a high of about 64. Nice mild afternoon. West-southwest winds 10 to 20. Tonight, clear 33. Tomorrow, sunny and 68. So today, sunny and 64. Tomorrow, sunny and 68. Right now on the back porch, 38 degrees. Sun coming up, revealing mostly clear skies. Winds are light right now. 225-9697 is the text line. 225-9697. The 580 loves the Landry Brothers show. I do like a couple of his songs. John Cougar Military Camp. Indiana is the oldest average team in college football. Average is 23 years old. The Green Bay Packers average 25 years old.
You know what? I like the Hoosiers over the Packers.
Kids staying in college to develop helps to win games. Absolutely. Believe that, absolutely. 96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning in the room to talk to us about law and order. Sheriff, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
All right. How was your last week? What happened? What's going on? Who'd you arrest? Who turned themselves in?
Well, we started with a missing individual again that we, many of you that have our app probably noticed that we put another ping out about this individual we were searching for. We felt like he was going through a little bit of a crisis. His family had been working on that. We found his car southeast of Sayre and looked for him for the better part of the evening. Couldn't locate him. We had 2 or 3 different reports of locations. None of those panned out. But the app came through for us the next morning. We had a person that followed our app call in and say that they believed they had spotted the guy on the river bridge south of Sayre. Our deputies went down there and located him. Sure enough, it was the person we were looking for. He was healthy. He'd spent the night in the woods. Apparently had crossed the river from the location that we had found him and spent the night just outside of Sayre in some woods along the river, one of the creeks there. So we were able to get him some help, and that situation resolved itself safely. So we were happy about that. And once again, that app has proved to be a valuable tool.
So if people haven't gotten that, I got to ask, why not?
Yeah, one of my deputies told me he was at the truck stop down there when they were looking that evening before, and several people had he mentioned something about being on the app, and several people were like, we're not sure what that is. So he was down there selling the app. He said while he was looking for information about the individual. The reason we were there was we thought we might have some camera footage that might show him. As it turned out, the manager that was able to access the camera wasn't there that night, so we had to wait till the next morning to get that. And before we went back to get that, we located the individual. But yeah, he was down there being a part-time salesman for the Beckham County Sheriff's app.
One of the things I like about the app is the distinct sound, the distinct ping sound that it makes whenever there's a notification. I know I don't have to see my phone to know I'm getting something from the Beckham County Sheriff's Office.
I like that. I've gotten several comments about that, and it's not terribly annoying, but it cuts through most of the other noise, and you know it's us. And it's I wish I could get the same kind of ping for my phone on. I've got one set for when my family members text me, and then unfortunately, it seems to be one that a lot of other people have got, so I'm always pulling my phone out to see if that was the family, and it ends up a lot of times just being somebody else's phone. But yeah, when that ping goes off, it sounds kind of like a submarine ping to me.
Yeah.
That when they're using sonar, it's what it kind of reminds me of. But yeah, you know it's us when it pings, and so that's a benefit too. But yeah, if you haven't done it yet, we would advise, and not just for your benefit, but for ours too, because it helps us when the public has input, just like this situation. This situation was resolved safely because somebody was paying attention based on the information they got from the app. And then also at times it will alert you to things that are for your safety and will benefit you too. So download it and make sure you put on push notifications. Make sure they're turned on.
96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. We got the Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning in the room. And we got a question coming in. How long do the messages stay on? Or is there a way to delete them?
You can't delete them. We delete them on our end sometimes. We have a policy that if it's a person at risk, such as that situation, or if it's a juvenile, we delete all of the information except for the actual notification that this person was found safely. And we do that to protect privacy and not create any issues for those people any longer than possibly have to. We don't want that information floating around. So we delete those after we've located the person and just leave something there as a placeholder saying that person was found safely. As far as deleting them off your own app, they just continue to scroll down until they roll off. And I'm not sure if we have a time set up on that. I would have to check with my dispatch captain for when they actually roll off. As far as I know, they don't have a time set because there's no real space usage for those. You just scroll down to the left.
Unlimited, right? Digital's unlimited.
Yeah, it's free.
What else happened last week?
So we had a deputy make a DUI drug arrest over the weekend, and it came up because somebody didn't follow the law about pulling over, slowing down for emergency vehicle on the shoulder. And this was actually a very dangerous situation, one that most cops that have been out there working the road very long have experienced at one time or another. But he was on a traffic stop, I believe on Interstate 40. I can't remember the mile marker. And had just cleared that traffic stop. A lot of times you don't have a chance to do anything about these because you're in the middle of a traffic stop, and you can't do anything except watch the vehicle come by and kind of shake your head. But he was just clearing the traffic stop that he had made, and a box truck was coming down the highway. And instead of pulling over, it actually crossed the fog line and got over partly onto the shoulder. And in his report that I read, it said that he got about 60 feet away from him before he swerved back and got back on the roadway, but never did pull over into the lane, over into the left lane away from him. 60 feet, when you think about that at interstate speeds, 60 feet before you hit something, swerving out of the way is a fraction of a second. So it came very close to being a bad accident that my deputy was involved in. I don't know what his exact position was in relation to his vehicle, but I'm hoping he was headed towards the shoulder by that time. Anyway, he had cleared the contact, so he got in his vehicle and got behind this box truck and pulled it over. Got the driver out, could smell the odor of marijuana. Subsequent search located some marijuana inside the truck and some burned marijuana cigarettes, some wrapping papers and that kind of thing. He called out one of our other deputies, or called over one of our deputies that was out working, that is certified in some roadside impairment tests, and that deputy performed those tests and determined that he was in fact impaired, and so he was arrested for driving under the influence and for having possession of the marijuana, and then also for failure to yield to an emergency vehicle. So just a note to people out there, first thing is to learn from this is be sure if you're coming up, and it doesn't have to be a cop, whether it's an ambulance vehicle, a fire department truck, a wrecker, a DOT worker, the law requires you to move over and slow down when you come up on a vehicle parked on the shoulder that has its emergency lights on. So always be aware that when you see those lights, if at all possible, pull over into the lane away from them. If they're in the center median, obviously you need to pull over to the right. Now, sometimes at a crash scene, you're going to have them all over the place. In that case, just slow way down. If you can't move over and get in the lane away from them, slow down, and that's required by law. And our folks do enforce it when we're able. A lot of times, like I said, you can't do that. But I've had it happen to me back before it was a law. I had a lady put me up on the hood of my car one time. She came by so close to my unit as I was completing another contact, and so I had to jump up on top of the hood to get away from her, and then chase her down, and she was intoxicated. So a lot of times it is an intoxicated driver that gets that close to you, but it can be scary out there when those vehicles going by at interstate speeds.
You mentioned the law as far as if a police officer, emergency responder of any kind is already on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
What is there? Does the law say anything about if I meet an ambulance or if I meet a police car with its lights on?
If you're on an undivided highway, undivided roadway, in other words, there's not a center median or a barrier between you and the oncoming emergency vehicle, you're required to pull to the right and stop as it comes by. A lot of times people they'll start pulling to the right, and then the vehicle's already passing by before they come to a complete stop. And as long as you're trying to comply, that's what the main thing is just that we're clearing as much of a path in the middle of the roadway, because when an emergency vehicle is responding to an emergency with lights and sirens, things happen in front of it, and sometimes it needs to take evasive action, or another vehicle may just not pull over, and it will need to come around that vehicle in the middle lane. So, for instance, here on 3rd Street in Elk City, I've seen that happen several times, where the only way you can get around the vehicles in front of you is you have to get over into the turning lane. So if everybody pulls to the right, it just makes that wide lane in the middle for that emergency vehicle to operate more safely. If there's a barrier between you and the oncoming emergency vehicle, that's not required. So if that barrier is a center median, or if it's a cable barrier, a concrete barrier, or anything like that, it's not required for you to pull over to the right. But this law is going to be the one that's, if it's on your side of the roadway and you're coming up behind that vehicle, then you need to give it as wide a berth. And if you can't do that, slow down.
96.5 KECO's The Early Morning Show. Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning. Anything else big happened last week?
No, we nothing law enforcement wise. However, I did, I've talked before about the new policy that we're putting out, new policy manual that we're putting out, and the app and computer app that we're using to put that out, so that our guys will have the actual policy on their phones. It's searchable. They can acknowledge the policy and sign off on that on their phones. Actually launched that last week, and we've got the deputies signed up on it, and they're starting to go through now and sign those new policies. And then also it has the capability for them to take what are called daily training bulletins, so basically a multiple choice test about the policy. And at the end of the year, if we complete all of that, we actually get 8 hours CLEAT credit for that. So that's a big deal for us, because that's a pretty good savings on training and getting guys to the training and that sort of thing. So excited to have that implemented and underway. And I appreciate at that time Major John Cook with the Elk City Police Department. He kind of helped me. I was looking for which program I wanted to use and which system, and so he assisted me in finding that one. That's one that they currently use, and worked with me on that, on how to get in touch with the people. So thanks to him, and congratulations also. Understand that he was just promoted to chief here in Elk City Police Department. So enjoy having a good working relationship with him and look forward to it.
Now, one more question. Let's go back to when you're on the roadway and there's somebody on the side of the road. Okay. Let's say it's a non-emergency vehicle, just a regular passenger on the shoulder. You see this on I-40 all the time. There's somebody pulled over. Maybe it's a truck having mechanical issues.
Sure.
By law, are people supposed to get over to the left?
I'm not aware of a law that requires that. It just speaks to emergency vehicles, but just common sense tells you that whichever way is the most clear and doesn't have a vehicle stopped on the shoulder of the road. And I get really frustrated when I see, and I'll always turn around if I see somebody on the side of the road broken down or whatever. I try to turn around. The cable barriers make it a little bit difficult sometimes, but they serve such a good other purpose that it's hard to get upset about them. But sometimes I'll see somebody on the shoulder going the other direction, and it might be a 2 or 3 mile journey to get turned around and find a gap and get back to them. But I try to just the old trooper in me can't hardly pass that by, because I want to make sure that they're safe. It's very dangerous for that person on the side of the road, because people do, for one thing, they don't notice that vehicle as much as they do a law enforcement vehicle or an ambulance with their emergency lights on and that sort of thing. And it kind of ends up being a last-minute thing, which is also dangerous, because those last-minute maneuvers, if you haven't been looking ahead and you haven't cleared for instance, if you're in the right lane and you need to move over to the left and you haven't cleared your vision on the left and make sure there's nobody kind of slightly behind you or anything, you can actually cause wrecks that way too if you suddenly change lanes. So try to stay. We always used to teach in law enforcement driver training at Burns Flat when we were teaching our young troopers to drive, that you look at a quarter mile down the road when you're driving, and most people do not do that. You're looking just at the hood of your car and slightly past. So if you're looking and scanning a quarter mile down the road, you're going to see that vehicle. Give yourself time to safely check your left or whatever side you need to move to, and safely move over. If you can do that, that's what you should do. If you're going to do a sudden swerve, probably the better thing to do is just slow down and stay in your lane and get as far in that lane as you can, because if you do a sudden swerve into another lane and you have not checked your vision, I've actually worked wrecks because of that, where somebody thought they were doing the safe thing and ended up pulling right into another vehicle. So the first thing is to that question is be looking far enough down the road to do something about it. The second thing is, the law doesn't require it necessarily, but you should pull over just like you would for another vehicle on the shoulder.
Beckham County Sheriff Derek Manning. Derek, always enjoyed talking to you. Stay safe this week.
Thank you. You guys be safe, too.
Jared Athan wants to give you local news, and who can blame him? It's what he does for a living, and he does it well. 96.5 KECO.
Good morning, sunny and 34. This is the Paragon Morning News. I'm Jared Athan. Beckham County made it through the holidays in good shape, according to Sheriff Derek Manning. He says deputies saw no major weather or traffic issues and only a handful of holiday-related calls. Manning says domestic calls did increase, which is typical during family-centered holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we had a few domestics, which we've come to expect. We've talked about that before around the holidays, especially the Christmas holidays, Thanksgiving holidays, the ones that are family-intensive, the closeness of all the families. And also, I think, you got all these different pressures. You've got money pressures with, people are trying to spend money and have a nice Christmas, and then that can lead to issues. The money runs a little short, or there are issues with extended families and different people are having custody issues and that sort of thing, and all those things kind of add together sometimes to create those pressures.
Manning says there were only a couple of DUI or DWI arrests over New Year's weekend and no major crashes. He also noted fewer reports of package thefts or mailbox thefts this year. Overall, he says the county has seen calmer holiday seasons compared to years past. The Oklahoma Court of Civil Appeals has revived a long-running water rights dispute in Custer County. The court ruled late last month that a lawsuit involving the Oklahoma Water Resources Board and two landowners was wrongly dismissed and must return to Oklahoma County District Court. The case centers on Crow Springs Creek, where Mark and Joanna Ferris claim a neighboring landowner built the dam without proper permits, disrupting downstream water flow and interfering with established water rights. The appeals court said that the Ferrises followed the proper administrative process and that the district court does have authority to review the water board's decision. An earlier dismissal by a district judge was overturned, with the appeals court ordering the case sent back for further proceedings. The ruling clears the way for a full judicial review and keeps the long-running dispute alive. A new study co-authored by Southwestern Oklahoma State University professor is gaining international attention. Dr. Leedson Canero of Southwestern Oklahoma State University has published research in New Phytologist showing that plants reduce better when they rely on a few highly effective pollinators rather than many different ones. The study links plant-pollinator relationships directly to real reproductive success and ecosystem stability. Canero plans to expand this research in western Oklahoma while involving SWAZU students in hands-on fieldwork. These stories and more on our Facebook page and website. Sunny right now in 34. This has been the Paragon Morning News. I'm Jared Atha.
Because it's been a month, and these are new people, and you got to start back at the beginning. You got to go back to, but mostly probably just the break. I bet if you a week later had a brand new set of people, or even the same week, if you had a brand new set of people, it wouldn't be as big a deal.
It is always odd.
It's just the break. And
my whole life feels odd during a break, and then you go back and
then it's odd again.
It's odd because you're changing your circumstance.
How long will it take for it to not feel odd?
Oh, by the end of the week.
Yeah,
I'll be back to normal.
For you to keep making money, the equipment and machinery have got to keep running, and they will help you do that at American Hose and Supply. Inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse, American Hose and Supply, 303-1123.
So anyway, Nathan, the era of pennies has ended. Are you aware of that?
Yes!
The president said no more pennies because in the old days, it's something like in the last decade, the cost of making a penny, which is worth 1 cent, went from 1.3 cents to 3.69 cents.
Doesn't make financial sense.
So for over a decade, it's been more expensive to make a penny than the penny's worth. And so the president said, all right, we're not doing that again. And there's a story in the Oklahoman about how businesses are adjusting. The short answer is they're rounding to the nearest nickel. Have you run into this, Nathan, where you were
think so.
Like $4.23 and they said you owe us $4.25?
I don't think so.
Or $4.20. I think it happened to me once, and for the life of me, I can't remember where. But since a lot of people use cards anyway.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Do people write checks?
It don't matter. I do.
So you're the guy.
Yeah. Fox
I
News,
noticed
Exploring Energy.
Your picture up in some businesses.
Radio at 10.
Related to your check.
Today in
offering.
Ag at noon.
Saying don't
Backroads at 3.
Don't receive a check from this guy.
Local news and sports, 96.5 KECO in Elk City. And I sure hope you remember at 9:45 this morning that KECO loves you, because we do. We do.